Everyone, this is Nimish. Welcome back to my channel. We are going to talk about The Batman. The reason I say it like that is because it is being questioned whether this is the Batman movie compared to Dark Knight, and there's a large section that are comparing it, saying it is as good, if not better, almost as good, top 3 Batman movies, all these things. Whereas there's a part of the audience that does not like this movie and they think it was long, slow, dragged, not enough action, many things that they didn't enjoy. It was too dark for them as well. So let's talk about The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, directed by Matt Reeves, and many other people in there, such as Colin Farrell as the Penguin as well, Paul Dano as the Riddler. This movie for me was absolutely gripping and thrilling. I liked all the Dark Knight movies as well, and we'll get into the comparison aspect toward the end of this. But speaking about the Batman movie right now, I thought this was extremely gripping, very thrilling. It had all the elements to keep the audience engaged and entertained. A very classic plot. It's pretty much like corruption, politics, whose father did what, whose sins are from the past, what is the revenge plot here from the villain, what is the angle of the villain. These kind of things, powerful people, corrupt practices, love story, all these elements were very much in the movie to keep the audiences engaged. And of course, there were a couple great action sequences. I will say the action sequences were not as amazing or incredible as some of the other Batman movies, and that is probably because that was not the purpose of the movie. The purpose was to focus on the detective and investigative side of Batman, which I personally found very, very interesting. So for me, this was a very gripping tale that uncovered the plot points very well. It reminded me of a movie like Seven, starring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. That was, one of the best investigative thrillers, detective thrillers back in the day, and is a cult classic or classic, I don't know. But it, that kind of approach. Murders are happening. Why are they happening? What is the justification behind it? Investigating this crime is what made it a very unique, a good reboot, a unique reboot, and a good start of a new kind of Batman journey. If it was very similar to the Dark Knight and other Batman movies where there's extravagant action, classic comic book style villains that are, doing those kind of things and those kind of get-ups and all of that, then it would have been, could have gone either way. But keeping this very unique approach is what made the movie work for me. Now, similar to Dark Knight, this movie has a lot of subplots, characters that are all intertwined and is focused on, Gotham and all of that, and does that narrative very well. This is probably why people are comparing it to the Dark Knight, because there are similarities in the sense of these subplots, characters, etc., layers being unveiled throughout the movie. It's not Dark Knight was not just about the Joker, although he stole the show, and that's a different aspect. But it wasn't just about the Joker. It was about so many different things. And similarly, this movie is also about many different characters, and that's what makes it very exciting. Pattinson is a natural fit as the Batman. It was very surprising to see him perform very naturally in this dark gothic style of Batman, and amazing performance by him. I think I'm very much looking forward to watch him in a few more movies as the Batman. Colin Farrell as the Penguin is so unrecognizable that actually part of me questions whether they needed Colin Farrell in this movie, because if he was that unrecognizable and you can't even tell it's him with all that prosthetic, then I'm not sure why they would cast him if he was hidden behind all those things. Paul Dano is a brilliant actor. We've seen him in so many movies doing so many different kinds of roles. He outshines here as well. He does a very good job as the Riddler. He has that perfect mix of emotion, psychotic sort of revenge attitude to him, immoral, that went from morality to immorality. He has that curve, and then towards the end of the movie there's a nice little sort of build up on preview of coming attractions for what could be next, and that is also pretty exciting. Other than that, all characters in the supporting cast were very good. I think this is a fabulous movie that everyone should watch. I love how they also absorbed New York City into the plot, which is Gotham City in the movie. It was just an absolutely gripping, thrilling ride. Compared to Dark Knight, I really like this movie so much, so I do think it can be compared, and it is in my top 3 Batman movies of the past decade or past 15 years. It is just amazing. And Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and this Batman is probably my top 3 in no particular order. And so leave your thoughts and comments below on whether you like this movie or you did not like this approach for some reason. And if thinking about the fact that this was not supposed to be that kind of Batman, it was supposed to be an investigative detective type of Batman, changes your mind, if it does something for you in terms of your opinion of the movie, leave all your thoughts and comments below, because we are all curious to know who thinks what about this Batman that is being so heavily discussed because it has taken this unique approach. Again, the BGM was fantastic, the editing, the VFX, all of that was perfectly in spot as we do expect. So I like the movie a lot. I'm going with 4 stars for the Batman. I hope you like this review. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep watching for much, much more.